Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping, where together we connect, we chat, and we unlock a bit of paper crafting fun together. So thank you for joining me. I am Lillian with Stamper's Niche. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today is August the 21st, believe it or not. So thank you for joining me, and let's just see. What's an engagement? Well, I do a this or that thing on Facebook, in my Facebook group every Saturday. And this last Saturday, my this or that was, are you someone who works on one project at a time when you're crafting? Or are you someone who has multiple projects going at the same time? So in the comments below, let us know. Are you a one project at a time person as a rule? I know there's always exceptions. Or are you someone who works multiple projects at a time? I am somebody that works multiple projects at a time, usually, and then I get a little frazzled, and after a while, I just have to focus and get one thing done at a time. And that's what I did this weekend. I actually zeroed in and finished off a few projects, and I'm so happy about that. I saw someone joining from Vancouver Island. Welcome. And oh, I see all kinds of people jumping on. Fabulous, fabulous. So, are you someone who works on one project at a time, or do you have several on the go? Let us know in the comments below. And I know that you are likely wondering what this is on my desk here. So just while everybody's popping in and saying hello and leaving their comment about what they do, there's a page in the annual catalog where they have what they call specialty papers. It's on page 127. So on page 127, and it looks like this. And all of these papers have something special about them, hence that they're specialty papers. And I am just gradually building my collection of these. And I saw a project using number 7, the soft shimmer paper. So number 7, if you look here, is shown here. And I got it in my last order. And my first thing is I need to show you. This paper is amazing. It's quite flexible. It's shimmer, so that nothing, no glitter comes off. And it's in all of these colors, one sheet of each of these colors. So it's a definite way to dazzle, add some dazzle, smazzle to your projects. It's fabulous. So take a look at that page 127, and see if there's, maybe it's this or something else there that catches your eye. I just had to share it with you. So there we go. Oh, I forgot to share. I see someone saying they like to quilt. Yes, my 10-year-old grandson has decided he would like to quilt. So I'm hoping that someone other than myself takes him up on that, because I'm not sure how I'll do with that project there. But you just never know. All right, so let's see. I'm just getting the computer up and going, making sure I can see your comments. I think we're all set to go. Oh, whoops, and I just dropped something. So what's new, right? Hi, everyone, and welcome. And I know that there are all kinds of natural disasters happening all over. And so if you are in one of those areas, please stay safe and know that we're all thinking of you, whether it's where the flooding is or the hurricane or the fires or whatever. I could do quilt cards with them, Linda. Well, there's an idea. I would have to figure it out how to do it. Maybe you'll have to give me some pointers on that. Anyway, so if you're in an area where you're feeling stressed a little bit about the weather conditions and what's happening, just know that we're all thinking of you. All right. Okay. First, just before we get started, there's a new paper pumpkin kit that has been released, and it has an add-on, a gratitude journal that if you are a paper pumpkin subscriber, then you can add on the journal, which looks absolutely lovely. So make sure to check that out if that's something that interests you. The other thing is, like I said, it's August the 21st, and that means the kit sale has only just over a week, about a week and a half to go. So the kits are up to 30% off. So these are perfect to craft on the go, to craft with a buddy, to gift somebody, or if you're just a beginner, everything's included, and you can just be all set to have some success right away. So make sure you check those out if that's at all interesting. And as some of you know, this new mini catalog, and I'm hearing that people are receiving it, so that's great, is going to go live September 6th. That means you can start ordering from it September 6th, unless you're a demonstrator, and then we could order from it beginning in August. So I did a video last week showing the designer papers from here, and I am offering a designer paper share and a ribbon share. So you need to sign up here. If you go there, it gives all the details. I'll also post the link in the comments afterwards. But it's a great way to get a selection. And what I'm hearing from every demonstrator that has these papers so far, these are the most amazing papers yet that Stampin' Up! Has released. So they're really good. That's all I can say. So if that's something that interests you, make sure that you check that out. It's a way of being able to get just a little bit of everything and not having to get a whole package of it all. Then you can find out what you like. So there's another question for you. Who has this catalog already? Who has it in their hands? If you're a demonstrator, I'm sure you have it. Maybe as a customer, it's just arrived. I've been hearing from customers that they've been arriving over the last few days. Let me know if you've got it or not, and maybe even share something that you like about it. So tonight, I am going to share a project. It's a sneak peek of one of the bundles that is in this catalog, and it is the Night Divine bundle. So it is a bundle where both the stamp set and the dies can stand alone, but if you get them together, you save 10%. So in this bundle, these are the words, and it's a total word set. I love the fonts, and I think there's just so much that can be done with that. And then there are these dies that work like a silhouette. Let me just show you. Remember my Get Acquainted sheet? They don't match the stamps at all. They're standalone, but you get all these great silhouettes that you can use when creating a scene. And if you watched my paper chat last week, you'll know that there's some paper that is simply divine that goes along with this. So we're going to be using that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about another bundle that goes with this in just a little bit. So let's look at the paper that we're going to use. We're going to start with thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's basically a half a sheet of cardstock with a fold in the middle. So it's just a basic card, and we always burnish that fold with the bone folder just to make it nice and crisp. There we go, just like that. So we've got that. We're going to put that to the side. Then we've got a piece of basic white that's 3 3/4 by 5. And remember, all these measurements will be in the tutorial in Thursday's newsletter, so make sure you've signed up for that. And then I've got a black layer that's just 1/8 bigger than this. Now, if you don't like that 1/8 business, make it 4 by 5 1/4. But I did it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, so that it just has a narrow little border. But you can always change that. Remember, this is your project. You can change it. So if you watched last week, I showed a technique. I'm just going to put this to the side to take that off, where I created this. Do you remember that? If not, look back on the videos last week, how I created it. I'm not going to recreate it today, but I took a window sheet and I cut a circle in it. And you're saying, hey, that's not a regular circle, it's a deckled circle. Yes, that's going to be in the September Mini too. There are 14 deckled circles in this. So I chose this one right here, and I cut it out of a window sheet and created what I call a mask. So it's just like that. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was the 6th one counting out from the center. So I created that mask, and then I brought in some blending brushes and I added color, and then I removed, so I had all, and then when I removed this, it looked like that. So you can use this for all kinds of things. You've seen me use it for silhouette types of things in the past, that kind of thing. For example, you could easily just add something like that on there, but we're going to use it with those dies that, in fact, well, just one of the dies. So what we're going to do is we are going to stamp first, because I'm going to show you something else. I'm having fun with this. So I'm going to bring in Joy and Peace, and my plan is to stamp it in black right along the bottom there. Quite often when I'm planning out a card, I even just lay my stamps on. Do any of you do that when you're in the planning process? Oh, I caught an edge. Well, maybe you're going to see me create that mask all over again, because I don't like that edge there, and we're going to put this here. Now, when I did the video, I was doing multiples and I had a hinge here, but I'm going to live dangerously and just use my hand to hold it down tonight. We're going to start with the yellow and bring it in, and I'm just going to line things up here. So that's about where I want my circle to be. And we'll just do a little, I always start off and then go in like that. We just want a little bit. I should open all my inks because it's not fastened down and I could end up moving it when I stop to open up an ink pad. There we go. Now I'm going to go to Highland Heather. That was crushed curry. And now I'm going to Highland Heather. And that's this one. Here we go. Again, I'm starting off. And then just, it's really light. It's almost barely hanging on to it. So there's barely any pressure. I just want a light dusting of color, and I'm overlapping a bit. I can go higher because that's okay too. So that's that. I can always come back and add more color later. Now I'm adding some balmy blue. Like this. Starting off. And I can fill up more, and I can make it as dark or as light as I want. I'm going to try and get a little bit more up here. This is just, for me, this type of thing is just so therapeutic, and I love the results. It's likely one of my favorite techniques. So now I'm using Night of Navy and overlapping again. And I think I'll bring the yellow back and just lightly add a bit here and there. And let's take a peek, see if we need to add any more color. Oh, you know what? I think that's going to be good. And I can clean that window sheet off just by running it under the tap or using a baby wipe or whatever, and use it over and over and over again. So that window sheet mask has already made many, many cards. So let's try this stamping again, and let's hope that I don't catch an edge this time. I'm so glad paper has two sides. Okay. Straight down, straight up. Perfect. There we go. I like that much better. Now, we could leave it just like that and layer it on our card like that. But I thought, well, I wouldn't mind showing you a sneak peek of something else. So the suite that the Night Divine is in, you can also get a sort of a coordinating bundle that has this stamp set, and then it has this embossing folder die combo. So this is one of the hybrid embossing folders. So you can use the embossing folder on its own, you can use the dies on their own, or you can take this one set of dies in here, this one, and it matches perfectly. Woo! There we go. Matches perfectly here, like that. You can feel it lock in. And then you would put your, well, you really can in real life. Of course, I'm on camera. There we go. Put your paper there, close it up, and it will cut and emboss at the same time. And I have just borrowed this from Marilyn. So big thank you to Marilyn for lending me this. And so you might say, well, what does that look like? So when you just run it through the embossing folder, it looks like that when you have it in metal. And then you can see that it could also cut out those three. So tonight I'm going to use it just as an embossing folder. And then when I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine up here, I am going to also cut something out of here. So we'll bring, oh, I'm just going to show you my Get Acquainted sheet. There we go. So this, I haven't even labeled it yet. And this is called Stars at Night. So this, you can also match as a stamp. This is a really neat effect here. Oh, it's just so pretty. So I didn't get it, but I think I might have to get it. We'll see. So let's bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in. And the first thing I want to do is I need some of these silhouettes. So I need the, I'm going to put my black paper down. This is the black paper I'm using for that layer of my card. All I really need is the camel. I'm going to put that, I'm going to keep it towards the middle, not to the edges. And then I'm going to just, you know, throw in a couple of sheep and a donkey. Might as well get more bang for my buck here, and I just might use that. So I'm keeping that towards the center. And then I'm going to, what did I do with the other piece? Have I got both here? Oh, here it is. Put it down. Here's the other plate. I'm going to run these through. And then I've got those silhouettes to play with, so I'll take them out, put them to the side, bring plate number 1 back in again, and I'm going to bring this and that embossing folder that is just absolutely gorgeous. And I am going to, now let me move this out of the way so you can see. I am going to do it sideways so that my stars are going up and down, and I'm going to be a bit strategic so I don't have a huge star going through joy and peace. So I'm going to slide it over I think about there. I'll put it so that the fold of the hinge goes in first, and then bring in this specialty plate, because this is a 3D, and we'll go right through. So now we'll take this off. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the dimension on the stars. Just absolutely stunning is all I can say there. And now we will bring in these guys. Peel off the dies. We've got that. No one's going to know we cut into that. There we go, like that. And like that. It just came up that my internet was going on and off. Is it going okay for you guys? I hope so. Anyway, now we've got all of our pieces and we're just going to fasten things together. So we've done our stamping here. We're going to fasten this to here. Put glue on this side. Now when you cut holes in here, don't put glue in the middle. I do it all the time, and it makes a bit of a mess unless you use your silicone mat, of course. So now we've got it like that. Now I'm going to put that on dimensionals because this actually is a pretty simple card. So the dimensionals will add just that much more dimension to the card. Makes it seem just a little more wow kind of thing. I was making over 20 of these cards. You should have seen the pile of dimensionals I had by the time I was finished. Dimensional backings, I mean. All right, and this is going to go on the front of the card. Just like that. I'm going to pick it up to see if I've got it straight. I think it's pretty good. Now what I want to do, my plan, is to put the camel here, and there is a really neat package of embellishments. I've just about used it all up. There's little stars and big stars, and that's going to look neat there. So I'm going to bring my silicone mat in, add some adhesive to this. You could have always used your adhesive sheets on this, but it's okay. You can make this work, especially if you let it sit for a minute. It doesn't spread quite so much. I'm always in too big a rush, but that's a little tip. So I'll let it sit for a minute and put the star on. Where did I'm losing everything tonight. So I'm going to grab this star here, and they're adhesive backed, so they go on really, really easily. Put that right there. And then we've got this. We're going to just put it here. And just like that, there we have our card. So what could you do for the inside? The stamp set doesn't have any images, it only has words, and you can choose your words that you want to. But what about one of these little silhouettes, these extra ones that we cut out? Let's just see. What would that look like down in there? I think that would look good. I think we could go with that and add, we could always add one of these to the back with where you put your initials, but who created this? Actually, why don't we do that? We'll add my little Stampin' Up stamp. Little stamp, little pressure, right? There we go, just like that. And should we use the donkey or should we use the lamb? Maybe the lamb. It's a little smaller. And just like that, we have the card made. It really goes together very easily, especially if you've got your sponging done ahead of time. It's a really quick and easy card because you can, that should say Lillian, what? Are you saying the donkey? Sue? No, I'm just joking. There we go. And, oh, I see. That was a typo. Okay, I missed the beginning there. So, ho. There we go. So there is the card. Here was the original. It's got a whole bunch of little bits and pieces in it so that I could use them if I wanted to. So you can see that this card is a Christmas card, but I showed you earlier how it doesn't have to be. You could emboss or not emboss, but once you've got this made, remember you could have brought in any kind of silhouette and some words at the bottom and you're good to go. So I just have one more thing I wanted to share with you. Remember I shared these dies here. Because Marilyn lent them to me, I tried making one card. This card is cased right from the catalog. And so here is a card using the stars like that. And inside, because this cut out, I put that on the inside. So those are two of the designs that I have come up with, just playing with new stuff. I've got lots of more things, ideas in my head. I'm sure I'm going to be sharing lots more in the near future, but those are the ones I wanted to share with you tonight. So hope that inspires you and gets you excited about the catalog. And I certainly hope that you have your catalog. If you don't, just and you live in Canada, sorry, I can't send it outside of Canada, make sure to fire me an email and I will get one to you. Or contact if you have a demonstrator, contact them. If you want to know more about these products or anything, contact me or go to my website right here. And I've just started a new hostess code. So there you go. And a big thank you to all of you who leave such encouraging comments, whether if you're here live or you join later or you're watching on YouTube. And many of you are sharing and subscribing and all those good things. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. And take care. Bye-bye.